We are obsessed with knowing what happens next. It's a natural reaction to living in an unpredictable world. We feel vulnerable, so we scramble for information to protect ourselves from the unknown. This chart shows historical data attempting to project a clean path forward, but reality rarely follows a straight line. We use predictive analytics and scenario planning, hoping to shield ourselves from failure. But the sheer volume of possibilities eventually overwhelms the models we build. Treating the future as a complex puzzle that we have to solve on our own doesn't actually bring us security. It just leaves us carrying an exhausting psychological burden, constantly bracing for the next impact. Marcus was an executive at a Fortune 500 tech firm, a man who spent his career controlling outcomes. After a divorce, that need for control escalated. He wanted to know exactly which investments would multiply and which competitors would fail, and he decided to use his wealth to brute force his way into seeing tomorrow. He spent millions funding theoretical cosmologists and outfitting quantum physics labs. He was treating time like a physical destination, a place he could reach if he could just build the right machine. His obsession led him to the Mojave Desert. He met with a self-proclaimed chrononaut, someone claiming the ability to travel through time, promising to channel black hole energy to slingshot participants decades into the future. He had limitless capital and access to the bleeding edge of modern science, yet chasing the future as a coordinate on a map left him entirely devoid of peace. A quiet, sleepless night during a business trip to Zurich broke the cycle of frantic labs and desert retreats. Driven by pure boredom, he opened the book resting inside his hotel nightstand. He flicked to the book of Isaiah, and a 2,700-year-old sentence stopped him cold, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times things that are not yet done. Marcus realized that seeing the future was a matter of internalizing a revelation rather than reaching a physical coordinate. He found a new way to look at reality. Over the following months, Marcus applied the same rigorous M&A due diligence he used in the corporate world to ancient scripture. He used highlighters and spreadsheets to mop out messianic prophecies and cross-reference the timing of historical empires in the book of Daniel. He analyzed Ezekiel's vision of the dry bones and recognized it as a geopolitical forecast for Israel's restoration, fulfilled 2,500 years later. By internalizing these texts, Marcus began to discern spiritual wavelengths. He realized that the prophetic passages outline distinct cycles of human pride, institutional collapse, and divine mercy, patterns that repeat in modern corporations just as they did in ancient nations. He applied this framework to his own company. Watching a new, unethical AI project, he referenced Proverbs 11:3, which states that integrity guides the upright. He anticipated the project would implode within 18 months based on that single principle of character. He was right. Marcus transitioned from the anxious demand of what will happen to a relational pursuit. Who are you, Lord? Within 6 months, his prayer journal was filled with foresights about supply chain disruptions and talent exoduses, discerned weeks before the news broke. This side-by-side diagram illustrates the difference between our modern, data-obsessed tools and the ancient method of biblical revelation. Tools like machine learning and predictive analytics function as rear-view mirrors. They are highly effective, but they can only extrapolate a path based entirely on things that have already happened in the past. Prophetic scripture, however, acts as a windshield. Reading these texts with a humble heart reveals the Father's intentional, forward-looking arc for history. When you overlay our chaotic human timeline with God's eternal perspective, you find the only form of time travel that replaces anxiety with deep peace. Marcus developed a practical framework to help other leaders stop chasing the impossible. Step 1 focuses on reading daily for personal transformation. Step 2 involves mapping prophecies to build trust in what remains. Step 3 is to ask the Spirit to show you what He is doing before every decision. Step 4 is to act in faith, accepting that the future is revealed one step at a time. We no longer need to carry the crushing weight of predicting tomorrow. Instead, we can live with the quiet certainty that the Alpha and Omega has already written the end.